Dylan Raiola suffered a broken fibula last night, November 1st, against USC. I think it was early third quarter. He got tackled, he got sacked, and he was down for a few minutes, and then he had to have assistance coming off the field. It looked like he could walk somewhat normally, but he's out for the year with a broken fibula. Fibula is that second smaller bone below the femur, below the knee. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself and this channel. And yeah, I mean, you can't play with a broken fibula. You can't. And he'll have to, much like TJ Lateef, take plenty of time off of practice in the 2026 preseason because of how late he suffered that injury. So he's going to miss part of the preseason too. It sucks in every way. If you're a Nebraska fan, I feel for you. You do not deserve this. And it absolutely changes how the season should be looked at. It changes expectations. It changes results, obviously, seeing how they did not trust TJ Lateef to run the offense in the same way they did Raiola, and he's not capable of running the offense in the same manner. I don't think they expected him to really ever have to come in the game. And you also see that it changes results and expectations from an outsider perspective, where Nebraska right now is an early underdog to UCLA this coming Saturday. What Raiola's injury means for the Cornhuskers is that the season from here on out is a test run. Matt Rhule in year 3, I believe we discovered this against Northwestern and Minnesota and for much of Big Ten play. That has more to do with scheduling and being able to win close games than fielding a great team. This is something I warned about preseason. I wasn't right in terms of the end-of-season record, though to be fair, I couldn't account for the QB injury. But I did say that Nebraska was going to win several close games. I picked them to win double-digit games. Obviously, that prediction's over. Is there a path for them to go 9-3? Very challenging to do, but given the fact they're not playing anyone of USC's stature for the rest of the year, I mean, I guess there's a weird scenario where that happens. I think 6-6 and 7-5 is the most likely outcome, followed by 8-4. But again, this isn't a prediction segment for the rest of the season or the rest of November. Matt Rhule at Baylor later in his tenure and at Temple, those late teams, the reason they won so many games is because they won a lot of close games. Nebraska has done that this year. They're 3-2 in close games, and they would have been 4-1 if Raiola were healthy, and they would beat USC if that were the case. So the season from here on out's a test run. What I mean by that is you play TJ Lateef, you let him have full control of the offense. That doesn't mean, of course, that you don't adjust the offense to his strengths. You should run him more than you did Raiola because he can run, whereas Raiola was very limited there to begin with. But don't play scared. Don't be extremely conservative as the game plan was last night, because now with Rhule out for the rest of the year, you don't have anything to lose. You've already reached 6 wins, and yes, Nebraska was hoping for more than that, but they would get more than that if not for the injury. So now you just have to say we're going bowling no matter what. We're not like the old Nebraska teams because we're going bowling back-to-back. We have to play Lateef and get him as much experience as possible because based on the fact Nebraska offered him a scholarship and that he started in this game after Raiola went down and they played him bits and pieces there earlier in the year, I would say at some point, if he's patient, he will eventually be Nebraska's starting quarterback after Raiola leaves. Could be wrong there. Maybe he'll transfer out earlier, or maybe they'll recruit someone even better. I know they have a really good quarterback in the 2027 class. But regardless, he's on scholarship. He's playing. Give it a test run. And if the team finishes 6-6, it sucks, but it likely won't be Rhule or the coaching staff's fault. They have faults of their own. We know this. But this team without Raiola was never going to be anything special. Raiola, with Holgorsen, with some of the wide receivers and the corners, those were really the areas of strengths for the team. Quarterback is much more important than any of those positions. For that position to be effectively neutered due to a tragic injury means you have to give the staff and the roster and the team grace, even if they don't win for the rest of the year. So the season's a test run. And what that means is, as a fan, you have to relax. And you should not worry. Because worrying does nothing. You are not a part of the team. You are a fan, and Rhule is not going anywhere. He was just given a contract extension. I still think the overall outlook on Rhule is one of optimism due to the back-to-back bowl appearances. And they could win another game or two or even three. I don't think it's very likely they win 2 or 3 more games. I do think it's likely out of those 3 games they get at least 1 more win, so that means an improvement in the regular season. And from there, the 2026 schedule's tougher, but you get Raiola back, and Nebraska's recruited and developed well enough under Rhule and made enough tough coaching changes to where they should be a better team next year than this year. This will certainly be a test of Nebraska's character. I don't think they'll quit, but something like this can cause a team to kind of turtle up or shrivel up. So this will be a test of the staff's character, of the team's character. I'm curious to see how they respond. I expect a positive response in the sense that they're not going to be as conservative as they were in the 3rd or 4th quarter with Lateef. They're not going to panic. They're not going to be a soft team. I think they'll respond in the appropriate way. Whether that translates to wins or not, we shall see. As for Lateef, he's going to get more reps. He'll start in the final 4 games. You'll get to see what he's made out of, and you'll get to see how good of a player he is. If he's able to make some progress here and there, he's a player that will be worthy of keeping. If, say, he's averaging 1 yard per pass attempt in all 4 of those games, then Nebraska may want to free up that scholarship spot, for example. And I think last but not least, the defense has to step up. The defense is healthy. It is a limited unit, yes, but no one... Well, I'm not even going to say that. This is the rough story. Iowa and Penn State have similar rushing attacks when called properly for Penn State, because Penn State's play caller there. I don't know what Andy Kotelnicki is doing. That was... Talk about me misreading a situation. I thought Kotelnicki was elite. Turns out he's not even average. He does not know what he's doing with that Penn State roster. But Iowa is probably a better power rushing team than USC is, and their quarterback in Gronowski's a dog. I mean, so there will need to be defensive adjustments if Nebraska wants to win games. Think about UCLA. Nico, that rushing attack, you're not Indiana, you're not Ohio State. Those are some of the only teams that could really shut that down. Your defense is actually closer to Penn State's than either of those two, and UCLA was able to gash Penn State on the ground. So the defense must step up. They have made some improvements as the season's gone on, but also I think the roster is very limited there. It absolutely sucks that Raiola is out for the season, but with pressure and with adversity, you get to find out someone's true character, and pressure can make diamonds. So with the roster Nebraska has and with the remaining schedule, I wouldn't be shocked if they were to win another game or 2. I think if they, especially with this injury, if they simply reach 8 wins this year, the season is a tremendous success. If they somehow reach 9 wins, wow. That would be shocking, but also that would be really exciting, and with the new faces on the roster, that would be fun to watch. Hoping for the best for Nebraska. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.